Today I am telling you about the physics, the study of nature and its law. In the physics, there are so many writers. One is S.C. Verma, professor of IIT Kanpur. Another prominent is Robert Resnick and David Halliday. Its book is divided into several topics. Perhaps there are two parts, part 1 and part 2. In the part 1, the following chapters are studied. The first chapter is measurements, vectors. Second chapter is vectors. The third one is motion in dimensions, motion in plane, particles dynamics 1, particles dynamics 2, work and energy. Next chapter is conservation of energy, conservation of linear momentum, oscillation, rotation, kinematics, rotational dynamics 1, rotational dynamics 2, and conservation of angular momentum, oscillation, gravitational, fluid dynamics, waves in elastic medium, sound waves, temperature, heat, first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, kinetic energy of gaseous 1, kinetic energy of gaseous 2, entropy, and others, second law of thermodynamics, and other supplementary topics. In the second parts of Resnick and Halliday, the following topics will be nicely deal with, and electromagnetic. Similarly, the next one is electric field, Gauss's law, electric potential, capacitors, dielectrics, current and resistance, electromagnetic force and circuits, the magnetic field, the Ampere's law, the Faraday's law, the inductance, the magnetic properties of matter, electromagnetic oscillators, electromagnetic waves, nature and propagation of light, reflection and refraction, spherical waves and spherical surface, grating and spectra, polarization, light and quantum physics, waves and particles. Perhaps 47 chapters in both part 1 and part 2. And you should be aware in details one by one. In all the chapters, there are some subtopics. In the chapter number 1, electromagnetic. In this chapter, you will study about what is electromagnetism, electric charge, Coulomb's law, charging is quantized, charge and matter, charge is conserved. Now, electromagnetic. Now, the question arises, what is electromagnetic? The science of electricity has its roots in observation known to thousands of milliards in 600 BC that rubbed piece of embers and will attract bits of straw. When your hair dry and if you use the combs in your hair, you will attract the piece of papers. It means the comb is magnetized and it has gained magnetic power. The study of magnetism goes back to the observation that naturally occurring stones, that is magnetic, will attract iron. Magnet will attract magnetic substances like iron. These two sciences developed quite separately until 1820. When Hans Christian Ørsted 1777 to 1851 observed a connection between them, namely that an electric current is a wire can affect magnetic compensation. What is now current? Flow of electrons in a conductor is known as currents. The new science electromagnetism was developed further by many workers, of when the most important was Michael Faraday, 1791 to 1867. He paid James Clerk Maxwell, 1831 to 1879, to put electromagnetism in the form of which we know today. The law of what's called Maxwell equations. The law play the same role in electromagnetism that Newton's law of motion. There are three laws, Newton's laws of motion. The first law, second law of Newton's law of motion, and the third law. And you are aware of these laws. Everything either in rest will remain in rest or in motion will remain in motion unless and until if you apply the external force. And every action there is equal and opposite. Reaction is the third law. Similarly, P barabar ma is the second law. These laws, Newton's law of motion and of gravitation do in mechanics. The scope of Maxwell equation is remarkable, including it does the fundamental principles of all large-scale electromagnetism, optical devices. Optical means light. The devices which is meant for light, such as motors, cyclotron, computers, radio, television, microwaves, radar, microscopes, and telescopes. This deals in electromagnetism. And in details, you will again next day I will explain electric charge, Coulomb's law, charge in potential, charge in matter, charge in concern, and one by one each topic will be deal in details, and some numericals will be based on these topics, which should be aware, and you should try yourself, and if you feel any difficulty, then you ask me in the next lecture. Thank you for your interest in physics. Thank you.